Do I look like this guy? It is for you guys to decide if we look alike. Sanitize.
Yeah, sanitize.
Yeah.
This is Stanley Mulee Mutisya, a man who said he looks exactly like Jalang'o. Even got the chance to meet Jalang'o, and Jalang'o was surprised but also happy to meet someone who looks like him. Stanley is not the only person who says he looks like a famous person. There are many others. A Kibaki lookalike, an Uhuru Kenyatta lookalike, a Margaret Kenyatta lookalike, a Platnumz lookalike, and even a guy who says he looks like Derulo.
Savage rap. December break your heart. Looking like an Ejabati savage rap.
Today, we are going to see what happened to these people who look like famous celebrities. And real quick, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We are very close to hitting 100,000 subscribers. So, subscribe.
Ebu songesha hii kamera karibu. Ebu mchukue peke yake. Do I look like this guy? It is for you guys to decide if we look alike. Sanitize.
Yeah, sanitize.
Yeah.
In November 2021, Jalang'o posted a video on YouTube called Do We Look Alike? Meet Stanley, my doppelganger. And to be honest, this man really looks like Jalang'o. Some people say he doesn't.
Mimi hata nikichekiwa msee, nikimwangalia vizuri, si ati mnafanana hivyo. Unajua hivyo? Ile tu kuambia.
But I think he does. He smiles like Jalang'o and even laughs like Jalang'o. You might even think they are brothers, but they are not. They are not even from the same tribe. Jalang'o is Luo and Stanley is Gamba. His full name is Stanley Mulee Mutisya, and he comes from Kilungu in Makueni County.
Kwetu ni Makueni.
Makueni.
Place inaitwa Kilungu.
Kilungu Makueni.
Now, what's funny is that even though he's from Makueni, Stanley said he likes the Luo culture.
Hauna damu yote Kijaluo?
Hapana, lakini napenda vitu za niko na hiyo tabia Ujaluo, napenda vitu kubwa kubwa.
Jalang'o was happy to meet the man who looks like him in this particular interview. Even asked his team if they look alike, and they all said yes.
Guys, is it true? Is it true that myself and what's your name again?
Stanley Mulee.
And is it true that Mulee and myself look alike? Is it that we are doppelgangers? Is it that, you know what? Let me ask the crew here.
In this interview, Stanley said he had been looking for Jalang'o for about 4 years, and the only reason he wanted to meet Jalang'o was because they look alike. Jalang'o even asked him what he wanted from him, and instead of asking for money like many people, Stanley asked for something else.
Ukinitafutia ni watu moja, juu mimi sita kuitisha pesa nitakula niishi, lakini hadi vat. Naanza kujijenga maisha yangu, kupata fee, naanza kujimalizia kujilipia, nimekaa kwa kiji yangu, nimetulia.
I don't know if he got that advert that he wanted. In fact, he got almost nothing from Jalang'o, and we'll talk about it shortly. Now, back in 2021, Stanley was a 4th-year student at Pioneer University studying software engineering. His family was not rich and paying school fees was hard. When he saw he looked like Jalang'o, he hoped that meeting Jalang'o would help change his life. But the only help he got from Jalang'o was maybe encouragement. In August 2024, Stanley went online and said that Jalang'o left him and did not keep his promises. He said Jalang'o only gave him 1,000 Kenyan shillings during that meeting that they had, and he never helped him after that. Stanley said that Jalang'o had promised to help him get a good job, but that never happened, and after some time, Jalang'o even stopped answering his calls. Jalang'o did not like what Stanley was saying. He got really upset and said that looking like a celebrity is not the celebrity's responsibility, and that Stanley should work hard instead. In an interview on the Economy podcast in September 2024, Jalang'o talked about the Stanley Mulee story and said that looking like someone is not a career.
Kufanana na mtu si career.
Yeah.
Stanley really regretted meeting Jalang'o. He was upset that Jalang'o decided not to help him. Even his own father was not happy with him.
Baba yako mwenyewe amekukasirikia sababu unafanana na jalasi.
Hapana, siku nikasirikia after kumaliza shule. Unajua mzazi ana expect tupate kazi. Sasa mzazi aliniuliza na huyu
baba yako sasa.
Huyu Jalang'o mwenye naonanga mnafanana, hawezi kutafutia kazi.
Stanley sounds demanding, and honestly, no one can really help you with that attitude. In this interview with Dr. Ufeneke, Stanley said that he expected Jalang'o to support him the same way Jalang'o was supported by Papa Shirandula.
Nilikuwa nataka aniweke like place yenye anishikilie mkono. Unaona pia yeye nilisikia story yake akisema mahali alishikilia mkono kwa Inspector Mwala na Papa Shirandula. Na walimshika mkono. Mimi nilikuwa nataka ni step in a better place.
Stanley also claimed in the same interview that he can talk like Jalang'o. So if given a chance, he could do the same things Jalang'o was doing.
Unaona venye anasemanga, I can say it.
Wewe unazoongea kama Jalasi.
Usiseme masiwa, sema ng'ombe.
Hebu uza image yetu ya Cape Media kama Jalasi.
Wapenzi watazamaji, mnaona hii maji? Hii si maji. Maji si maji. Maji kama si maji ya Cape Media, maji si maji. Watu wangu, mnaona maji ni Cape Media.
But does he really sound like Jalang'o? He sounds more like a preacher. Dr. Ufeneke asked Stanley if he had another plan in case Jalang'o did not help him, and Stanley said yes, he was planning to work hard and eventually run as an MP for Lang'ata against Jalang'o.
Are you going to vie against Mheshimiwa Jalang'o?
For now, najituma kwanza nipate hiyo pesa ya kampeni. Then Mungu akinibariki, tuseme kwani mbaya?
He sounded a bit bitter, and honestly, just looking like someone else does not mean that they have to help you. If they want to help you, that's fine. If not, that's also fine. You're not their relative. So what happened to Stanley? Jalang'o was not willing to help him, and Stanley just disappeared. In December 2023, he graduated, and in 2024, he was working as an errands boy in Nairobi CBD. Maybe he's still there, or maybe he has found a better job. His main dream has always been to go into politics, and he might run for MP in Lang'ata in the 2027 elections. So let's wait. Now, like Jalang'o, the next celebrity fully embraced his lookalike. In October 2025, this video went viral of a man who looks exactly like Omondi. This video was shot in Githurai, and Omondi even shared this video on Instagram, asking people to help him find the man, and the man was found.
Niaje saya nakaa kama yeye.
Yeah, like it's scary.
For real though. As in, I look like him.
Yeah.
Ananifanana sana bro.
This man's real name is Samuel Kahatha. He lives in Githurai 44, but he originally comes from Kabati village in Nyandarua.
I'm Samuel Kahatha Mwai. Yeah.
From where?
From Nyandarua, place called Mihalati, village called Kabati.
Samuel realized he looks like Omondi back in 2020 after other people started telling him.
The year 2020, after kumaliza college, sasa venye nilienda kutafuta kazi mara ya kwanza, the first person kuniona aliniita, Omondi unatafuta kazi.
It took 5 years for Samuel to actually meet Omondi. And meeting Omondi was a blessing because they started working together. Yes, marketing a product that Omondi had been promoting alone.
So, umesign deal na yeye ya content?
Yes. Yeah, one of the products na advertise. Tunafanya naye.
That's fine, man. Congrats, man. Yeah.
Samuel studied plumbing in school. That's a good job. But meeting Omondi might change his life completely. He might even go into content creation, just like Omondi. Let's talk about another famous lookalike. And he's one of the most talked about in Kenya. His name is Michael Njogo.
Ni watu wananiitaga. Wananiitaga Uhuru.
Michael Njogo came from Umoja, Nairobi. But what made him go viral is this photo. And people were amazed because he looked exactly like the former president, Uhuru Kenyatta. Many thought that they were related, but they are not. Unlike Uhuru Kenyatta was born in Gatondo, Michael was born somewhere else in South B. And Michael didn't come from a rich family like Uhuru Kenyatta. He grew up in a humble background. In an interview with K24, Michael said he didn't even know he looked like Uhuru Kenyatta. People kept telling him,
"Mimi sikujua ni watu wananiitaga." Wananiitaga Uhuru. Na hata sasa hivi kutoka naye hapa nje, kama hujanipatia 500 iko na change. Utashangaa.
Kwa nini?
Si lazima niwaachie.
In yet another interview with Tuko in 2020, he said he became famous even before Uhuru Kenyatta became president.
Nimetrend na hii kitu ya Uhuru. Ni hata Uhuru, I think Uhuru kwa president wakati ya Kibaki.
Looking like a president sounds fun, right? But it can also cause problems, that is according to Michael, because people assumed that because he looked like the president, he had money and should give it to them. But Njogo was actually broke.
Sasa kwa Uhuru, nikutana na msee hapa. Lazima atanidai.
Lazima utoe kitu.
Huwezi toka hapo.
Kwa nini?
Utatokaje?
Lazima utoe kitu.
Now the fame also brought some benefits to Michael Njogo. He got a marketing job, a house, and the biggest gift was a car. A company called Maridadi Motors gave Njogo a brand new Nissan Note. With the car, Njogo wanted to keep running his taxi business, which was doing before, but he had to stop it because of the 2020 pandemic. The biggest dream that Michael had was to meet the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, which never happened. But at least he got some help from other people. But even with all that support, Njogo was not doing well. He struggled with alcohol, and it got so bad that he had to go to the rehab center for help. In April 2022, he said that he wanted to run for president to succeed his lookalike Uhuru Kenyatta, but he didn't do that, and after that, he went quiet. Maybe he's doing better now. We just hope so. Uhuru Kenyatta's wife, or the former first lady, Margaret Kenyatta, also had someone who looks just like her. Her name is Margaret Aswani.
Like when I go to the supermarket, I get a lot of attention, and people will come, they want to assist you. You go to the post office, people are ready to help you, and you just feel humbled, and you're like, wow, it's good to be up there,
When a picture was shared online, it went viral because she looked so much like Margaret Kenyatta. Not only did they share the same name, Margaret, they also had similar short grey hair and glasses. She has the same skin color, short hair, and even the same height. Everywhere she went, people would stop and ask her if she was related to the first family. Some of her friends even called her Margaret Kenyatta. But she wasn't the real Margaret Kenyatta.
One time I went to the post office at City Square, and the moment I just got in, they all stood, and they're like, oh my God. So I was laughing because I knew why they were standing. So when I got to the counter, I told them, I am not the one.
Now, there's also this man who looks just like former president Mwai Kibaki, and even more surprising, he sounds like him too.
Mimi Emilio Mwai Kibaki naapa kwamba nitakuwa mwaminifu kwa katiba ya Kenya.
Not only does he sound like Kibaki, but his wife is also named Lucy, just like the former first lady.
Bali na kufanana na Kibaki, pia bibi yangu pia anaitwa Lucy. And I want to declare that Lucy is my only wife. Na hiyo kila mtu asikie.
It gets even stranger because in 2002, when Kibaki was in a car accident, this man, Samuel Gicharu, was also in a car accident and injured the same leg as Kibaki.
Nilikuwa nimesimama kiti ya kansula wakati Kibaki alikuwa anasimama president. Na wakati alipata accident, na mimi hiyo wiki nikapata accident. And I was on wheelchair for 6 months. Hapa nearby.
He was also trying to become a leader in 2002 just like Kibaki. When President Kibaki passed away, Samuel showed up at parliament to view the body, and the story went viral. People joked that Kibaki had come back to life. According to Samuel, he realized that he started looking like Kibaki in 2020. This is because he stopped shaving during the pandemic, and his hair grew similar to Kibaki's. From then on, people started calling him Kibaki.
So, wakati COVID ilikuja, tukaogopa kwenda kinyozi. So nywele ikamea pole. So siku moja nikasikia kwa supermarket, angalia Kibaki.
Unlike some other lookalikes, Samuel didn't get cars or houses. Instead, he decided to get into content creation, and is doing well. Around 2021, he opened a TikTok account called Uncle Sam Kibaki Lookalike and has been posting videos regularly. He has about 18,000 followers, and even today, people still say he looks like Kibaki. Samuel is also an MC, and he uses the account to get more work and shows. He's also a businessman, and he revealed back then that he was owning a shop in Kirigiti, Kiambu with his wife. After the death of Mwai Kibaki, Samuel hoped to meet the late president's family, but it's not clear if that ever happened. There's also another person who claimed to look like Mwai Kibaki. In fact, even said that it was Mwai Kibaki's son and even wanted a DNA test to prove it. But the late president's children rejected the idea.
I wish to state clearly that I am not a brother to the late president. I am his son, biological son.
This man is Jacob Ochola, and in some way, he looks like former President Mwai Kibaki, right? Some people even thought he might be related to the president because his nose, his forehead, his eyes and lips look so similar, right? Jacob says he was born in 1960 in Kaloleni in Nairobi. He grew up thinking he was Luo because of his stepfather, but he later learned that the man he thought was his father was only his stepfather. According to Jacob, his real father was Mwai Kibaki, and his mother told him the truth after the stepfather died.
I was born in 1960, July 22nd, in Kaloleni, Nairobi. I grew up knowing I was Luo. I didn't know I was not Luo. When I turned 21, the person I knew was my father died. A year later, my mom disclosed to me that the person who died was not my father.
Now let's move away from the politicians and talk about people who look like famous musicians.
Hello, hapo vipi sijui unanisikia? Hello, na maneno natamani kukwambia. Hello.
Now this is the Kenyan Diamond Platnumz Chibudi Chibude. His real name is Alphonse Mesha Kotieno, but he calls himself Defela Music.
Wewe unaitwaje?
Okay, kwa majina kamili ya ID Alphonse Mesha Otieno.
Otieno, I knew it. I knew it.
He found out that he looked like Diamond Platnumz many years ago, even when he was still in school, long before social media was even a big thing. And looking like Diamond Platnumz has actually helped him. He gets invited to shows, he gets invited to club appearances, and the crazy thing is that he charges money for it. He says he charges around 200,000 Kenyan shillings just to do appearances and almost 1 million shillings for a full show.
Wait, rate card yako ni 1 million kuperform?
Yes. Yangu ni mita moja.
No, yenyewe ni Diamond.
Nikishukisha hiyo ndugu yangu atakasirika sana. Diamond atakasirika.
I really doubt he gets paid all that money. But anyway, in this interview, he even claimed that he was once paid 320,000 Kenyan shillings to perform at a show in Kenya. And also say that he wanted to do more shows in other countries like Uganda.
Panga vijana zaingia Uganda hapo ni pange show moja ningie masaa 6 watu wakiwa washa zikishashika.
Yeah.
10 minutes nimechukua mita yangu moja nimetoroka.
Besides being a Diamond Platnumz lookalike, he's also a musician. His artist name is Defela Music, and according to his YouTube channel, he has released only 3 songs, but he has a rate card of 1 million shillings. Anyway, besides his thriving music career, he's also running a business. In August 2024, in this interview with Dr. Ofweneke, he revealed that he works in the beauty industry and has around 30 employees.
Okay, me personally, mimi ni mwanabiashara. Niko na biashara Westlands ambayo ina deal na mambo za urembo, yani mambo ya urembo. Nywele na mambo na kutengeneza wigi, haircut, kila kitu nini. Niko hapa Westland, Bandari Plaza, I think you know. Woodville, hapa Woodville, barabara ya Woodville.
Hapo around 40 Stars Blue Beach hiyo barabara.
Yeah, inaitwa Zion Superstyle Beauty and Spa. Ukipita tu hapo utaiona.
So wewe ndio unashuka nini?
Niko na watu nimejiri watu kama 30 so wako hapo ndani.
Nice one. Let's appreciate my
And away from Diamond Platnumz, in Kenya, you'll also find a man who looks like Burna Boy.
You go bound for the result, nothing to discuss, cause I win by default and without any doubt. I no go fee, take an insult.
He can't really sing like Burna Boy, but he really looks like Burna Boy. You know, they have the same hair, same smile, the same style. Even his old photos look exactly the same, like a young Burna Boy. On social media, he calls himself Eyebrows Msanii, and he grew up in Uthiru. He gave himself the name the Kenyan Burna and even recreated Burna Boy's famous photos to push his own music career. He also made videos while acting like Burna Boy, using Burna Boy's songs and copying his style. His goal was to be famous, and it actually worked. Today, he has almost 20,000 followers on TikTok and about 3,000 on Instagram. But here's something many people don't know. Before people started calling him the Kenyan Burna Boy, Eyebrows Msanii was already a musician. He began making music way back in 2019, and he was singing in Swahili. And honestly, his songs are not bad at all. He has more than 10 songs, and I listened to some of them, like this one called Notimpia, and it's a good song. You can check it out later and tell me what you think about it. But sadly, his music did not make him famous. What made him famous or made him known was simply looking like Burna Boy. On his older Instagram photos, he had short hair, but later he installed dreadlocks to look more like Burna Boy. Nowadays, it seems like Eyebrows Msanii got tired of becoming or being Burna Boy, and he stopped even making music and creating content like Burna Boy. Maybe it wasn't paying enough, maybe he just got tired. Surprisingly, he even removed the dreadlocks and is now not looking like Burna Boy that much. Anyway, according to his TikTok, the Kenyan Burna Boy is now a cook. He even posted a video showing himself cooking with a caption, "Heavy on personal growth, me versus me, till I reach the top." And that's a lot better than relying on people just because you look like someone famous. And the Kenyan Burna Boy has never met the real Burna Boy, but there's another Burna Boy, a lookalike from Cameroon, who has actually met Burna Boy. Personally, I think the Kenyan Burna Boy actually looks more like Burna Boy than this one. But you tell me, between this guy and the Kenyan Burna Boy, who really looks like Burna Boy? Now let's talk about Jason Derulo lookalike. Some people call him Jasho Derulo.
Savage rap. Did somebody break your heart? Looking like an Ejabati savage rap. Mbona nastuka?
Now, this Kenyan Jason Derulo is actually an artist too, and his stage name is Ramsey. And among all the lookalikes, he has benefited a lot. Even say that he's worth 120 million Kenyan shillings, which I'm very doubtful of that. I don't really believe he's worth that much, but it's his story, right? Ramsey discovered he looked like Jason Derulo about 10 years ago in 2014, after other people kept telling him so. Even before knowing he looked like Jason, he was already an artist, singing vernacular songs, the Mugithi songs.
Before nimujue, mimi ni artist bado. Nilikuwa nafanya ile vernacular hiyo Mugithi.
But his music career hasn't been as successful as the real Jason Derulo's. Ramsey even say that making music is tough. He has spent millions on music, but it just hasn't worked out. The only thing that really works out for him is creating content as Jason Derulo.
Hakuna kitu gumu kama music. Yeye siwezi kudanganya. Mimi nimespend over 7 million kwa industry ya music.
For how long? How many years?
Kutoka 2022. Lakini ile kitu ilikufanya niingie tao vizuri ni mambo ya content.
And the real Jason Derulo has actually embraced him, even reposting some of his videos on Instagram. And according to Ramsey, they have been talking on social media, especially on Instagram, and they were even planning to work together. Maybe do a remix of Savage Rav.
Savage Rav. Did somebody break your heart?
But have you spoken to Jason Derulo?
Huwaga saa zingine tuna chat.
Oh.
Hata kuna saa zingine huwaga na kuna siku huwaga na repost nini zangu. Unaona hiyo ya repost ya.
Yeah.
So saa zingine tuna kwa IG kuna venye huwaga tuna chat.
Anyway, in an interview with SPM Buzz in April 2025, he said he's famous and even claimed that he's the one making Jason Derulo more popular in Africa.
Mimi sasa nimefika hata Derulo mwenyewe sasa mimi namuongeza nini yake nguvu kubrand jina yake.
Vipi?
Tumefika.
Vipi?
Si kama Kenya ama Afrika, naweza sema Afrika. Sasa watu wanamfuata sana juu yangu.
A statement that is quite controversial. But even with all that fame and power, he hasn't made his own songs popular. He has released more than 60 songs, but just asking, do you know any of them? Anyway, this song is the most watched one with about 130,000 views on YouTube, He also did a song with Reckless called Something Must Kill a Man. The last time he posted on YouTube was about a month ago. It was a song called Divana featuring Stibo Simple Boy. Even though his music isn't very popular, he's famous on social media because he looks like Jason Derulo. He has 360,000 followers on Facebook, about 240,000 followers on TikTok, and almost 90,000 followers on Instagram. He didn't get all these followers by luck. He worked hard, posting many videos and skits on social media, dancing, acting, and just being Jason Derulo. And even today, he's still posting new content. His dream was to meet the real Jason Derulo. This hasn't happened yet, but he once said that they were talking on social media, which is still a good start. There's also someone who looks like Ruger. His name was Ruger Wakayole, but he later changed it to Kenyan Ruger.
I know what I'm doing, it's alright. But since the man can focus, we the filthy don't give a fuck. She said, "Way
Ruga wa Kenya. Mshiona Ruga wa Kenya, by the way.
Ruga wa Uyole.
Ruga wa Uyole.
Yeah, they call me Kenyan Ruger everywhere. Ruga wa Uyole.
At first, some people actually believed he was Ruger, especially with the dyed hair, even wore an eye patch to look more like him. Kenyan Ruger is a dancer and entertainer who became famous by copying Ruger. Now, after years of dancing, he began mimicking Ruger's music and appearance, and it brought him a lot of attention. By September 2023, he had performed at 3 shows as Ruger. He has even performed in other countries like South Sudan, which is quite surprising.
You are actually an international artist. Ulikuwa tu juzi Sudan.
Ken Ruger sings Ruger's hit songs on stage and was even planning to make his own music. In an interview on BBC Radio, Ruger, the real one, was asked how he felt about the lookalike, especially since he was making money using his songs. Ruger was happy about it, just imagine, and said, "Everybody must eat." He added that the Ken lookalike was actually helping to promote his songs, and he had no problem with it.
Fake Ruger is enjoying your life, right? I'm not sure if you're aware, bro.
I wish him well, man.
He's actually booked to perform my shows. Listen, bro, he's in Kenya. You know, are you
Yeah, I know.
Fake Ruger is in Kenya. A great impersonator of Ruger. And he's already been booked to perform shows in Kenya.
I mean, I'm happy for him.
Yeah? You know, there are no artists who will shut that down.
No.
You're like, we're here.
He's making his peace. Everybody must eat.
Everybody must eat. Wow.
Because when people were telling me, why have you seen this? Have you seen this? Somebody I say, man's just trying to hustle. You understand?
Come on, my bro.
He's actually promoting my song in a way because he's not making his own songs and saying it's Ruger that made the songs.
My brother.
He's thinking, man, at the end of the day, they'll go back to the house and stream those songs.
Oh my goodness.
That's the most important thing. I beg, everybody should calm down.
Kenyan Ruger finally met the real Ruger for the first time in August 2024 on the 10 over 10 show on Citizen Television.
I'm the Kenyan Cardi B, Tic-Tac, Stan Philippe, bet you probably heard of me.
This is Nduta Mwega, better known as the Kenyan Cardi B. She went viral for looking exactly like the rapper and used that attention to build a career as a content creator and also a dancer. She even released a rap song which got some attention, mostly from people who are curious if she sounded like Cardi B too. The music didn't really work out, so she focused more on dancing and creating content. She posts dancing videos even today, and she has managed to build a big following. She has almost 100,000 followers on TikTok and over 100,000 followers on Instagram. Now, there are many more people in Kenya who have gone viral for looking like famous celebrities. We can't cover them all today, but for example, there's this one who looks like Mike Sonko, this lady who resembles Lupita Nyong'o, and a man from Eldoret, this one, who looks like Bien. Anyway, looking at all the stories we've covered today, one thing really stands out. Looking like someone famous does not mean you automatically get their help. Some lookalikes got support, some are still waiting to be supported, which may never come. And even if you look like a star, you have to know that you have to work hard and make your own path. And with that, thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think about this story, comment down below, and also like this video and subscribe if you haven't, because we are very, very close to hitting 100,000 subscribers. Let's meet in the next video.